Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So today what I want to do is talk a little NHL hockey with you. The regular season is ending this week. It ends this coming Friday. And right after that, the Stanley Cup Playoffs will begin. And to me, that's about as exciting as anything that goes on in pro sports. Even when my team's not in it, playoff hockey is about as exciting as it really gets. But there are still some races to be determined, and right now I'm going to focus on the Eastern Conference. The Metropolitan Division is still a free-for-all in terms of how those teams are going to finish, but the two wild-card spots in the Eastern Conference are still yet to be determined as well. So what we're going to do today is talk about these teams, where they are in the standings, the remaining schedule, and I'll offer you my predictions on how I think things are going to shake out. So let's start in the Metropolitan Division. So the three teams that have clinched the top three spots in no particular order are the Carolina Hurricanes, the New Jersey Devils, and the New York Rangers. So the Hurricanes have 109 points with one game left to go. The Devils are 1 point behind with 108, but they've got 2 games left to go, so they've got a game in hand. The New York Rangers have 107 points with only 1 game left to go as well. So what we're looking at here is Tuesday night, there's a huge game. The Buffalo Sabres against the New Jersey Devils at the Prudential Center. That game is going to be pivotal for both the Metro Division race and the wild card race, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But that game is going to turn out to be pivotal. If New Jersey does win out, they are going to finish first in the division and guarantee themselves home ice in at least the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. All right, so that is pretty pivotal to take into account. Now, Thursday, all 3 teams are in action. You've got New Jersey at Washington. Now, Washington's out of the playoff race, but if you saw the way they whitewashed the Islanders the other night, Washington's still playing hard. They have not pushed their cards to the middle of the table. They're still playing. Then you've got Toronto at the Rangers. That's an interesting one because Toronto has secured second place in the Atlantic Division. They know they're facing Tampa Bay in the first round. You know, is Toronto going to sit a few regulars? Will they sit an Austin Matthews? Will they sit one of their top goalies or their top goalie? It's going to be interesting to see what they do there. And then you've got Carolina at Florida. Florida is also in the wild card race. That game is going to be pretty big as well. But if you're looking at the Rangers, here's the most important thing to point out. Neither the Devils or Hurricanes can get another point if the Rangers are going to win this division. The Rangers cannot win the tiebreaker against New Jersey, and if Carolina gets 1 more point, they're 3 points clear of the Rangers. So then, even if the Rangers beat Toronto and gain 2 points, they still finish 1 point back. So if there's any chance of the Rangers winning this division, they got to win in regulation against Toronto, and the other 2 teams have to lose in regulation. Everything has to go perfect in these last 4 games for the Rangers to win it. Now, from what we've seen in the comments, guys like Filipino, some of the players on this team have said they know they could go in and win wherever they have to go. You know, they didn't make it sound like getting home ice was quite that big of a deal, which I did find a little surprising. You know, I guess their logic is, well, we win the first game on the road. We've taken home ice back anyway. So we shall see. So that is where the Metro Division race is. Now with the wild card, this is fascinating. So there's 4 teams vying for 2 spots right now. Now in the Atlantic Division, by the way, Boston is 1, Toronto's 2, Tampa Bay is 3. Those teams have all clinched. So these are your 4 teams. You got Florida with 92 points, 1 game left. The Islanders have 91 points, 1 game left. You've got Pittsburgh with 90 points, but 2 games left. And the crazy one is the Buffalo Sabres at 87 points with 3 games left to go. Now, on the schedule tonight, we already talked about, you got Buffalo and New Jersey. That's a big one. Chicago goes to Pittsburgh, and Chicago is one of the absolute worst teams in the league. Okay, and then Wednesday, you've got Montreal at the Islanders. That's the Islanders' last game of the season. And then Thursday's a big one. You've got Pittsburgh at Columbus. So think about it. Pittsburgh's got 2 games left, and they're playing maybe the 2 worst teams in the league right now in Chicago and Columbus. So advantage them. Then you've got Carolina and Florida, as we just said, and Ottawa at Buffalo. Friday, Buffalo goes to Columbus. So it's funny how some of these wildcard teams are playing some of the worst teams in the league, the way that this all shakes out. So if Florida wins against Carolina, they clinch a playoff spot. So that would be on Thursday. Now, but Pittsburgh, this is the crazy thing. even though Pittsburgh is currently out of the wild card race, they actually control their own destiny. If they win their last 2 games, they finish with 94 points, and they are assured to finish ahead of the Islanders. And with Pittsburgh facing 2 of the worst teams in hockey, it is possible that that could happen. Buffalo's had a heck of a run. You know, they did take the win from the Rangers last night in the shootout. They need at least 5 points, probably 6, though, to be realistic to get a wild card spot. So it is a fascinating race right now to see where all of this is. Here's what I think is going to happen. In the Metro Division, I think Carolina is going to win, and New Jersey, I think Carolina beats Florida, and New Jersey wins at least 1 game. And I think that'll secure the Metro Division standings in order as they are. Carolina 1, New Jersey 2, and the Rangers 3, which means the Rangers will be going to New Jersey to start the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And then Carolina would face the highest seeded wild card team. All right, so that's the way that would work. Now, as far as the wild card race, so the more I'm looking at it, I don't think Buffalo's going to win 3 games. I think that's just too much to do it on back-to-backs. Going to New Jersey, I don't see Buffalo winning this game Tuesday night. They might beat Ottawa. They could probably beat Buffalo, but I just think they've given what they have. I'm shoving Buffalo to the side. I think Pittsburgh will get at least 3 points in these 2 games. I think they could get 4, but I think they're going to get at least 3. I think Carolina beats Florida, leaving Florida at 92, which would vault Pittsburgh ahead of Florida in the standings. And as far as the Islanders go, I think the Islanders are going to control their destiny. I think it's going to be a win and they're in situation for the Islanders against Montreal. I think that Montreal is going to beat them. I just don't have a good feeling about where the Islanders are or how they're playing right now. It's a tough call. I think it might go late. I think it might go to I could see it going to overtime or to a shootout, something like that. But I'm going to say the Islanders are going to get 1 point. I'm going to get a little crazy and that they get 1 point. So if that were to happen, the way that the standings would shake out, Pittsburgh would be the top wild card with 93 points, and they would play Carolina in the first round. Okay, so that would leave Florida and the Islanders both with 92 points, and Florida would get their tiebreaker because they would have 1 more regulation win than the Islanders do. Okay, right now Florida has 36 regulation wins. The Islanders have 35. So to get the tiebreaker comes down to that, and if the Islanders don't win in regulation, they can't pass Florida. So to me, I'm going to say Florida gets the last wild card spot and goes to Boston in the first round, and the Islanders and Buffalo go home. So those are my predictions. Let's see what winds up happening. It's going to be a great hockey playoff season. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you right back here once I'm back in the Wicker Chair.